Hi, everyone. This is Pastor Henry of Dixon United Methodist Church, and today's devotional we'll start with Romans 12:12. Rejoice in hope, be patient in suffering, persevere in prayer. Howard Thurman reminds us that suffering is universal for mankind. There is no one who escapes. It makes demands alike upon the wise and the foolish, the illiterate and the literate, and the saint and the sinner. Take time to pause this video right now to reflect on the following question. How, for good or for ill, might suffering impact our experience of God? How, for good or for ill, might suffering impact our experience of God? In thinking about this question and Thurman's quote, I am drawn to theologian Abraham Joshua Heschel's quote, that suffering need not be sought. Indeed, it must not be. Martyrdom for the sake of martyrdom is suicide by exhibitionism, not redemptive crucifixion. But we may not seek to evade suffering. It must be voluntarily accepted. In other words, suffering itself must not be glorified, but what is important is our response to suffering. Answering that earlier question, for ill, suffering can lead us to be despondent and hopeless, shrouding us to see the love of God. But on the other hand, for good, our own suffering, our response to our own suffering, can empower us to move in solidarity with others who are suffering. God's response to suffering is one of solidarity and liberation with those that are suffering, with those whose backs are against the wall. And I would argue that this is evident in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And so, yes, suffering is universal, but also our response to suffering can be universal as well. A response of justice and love, a response of compassion and healing, a response of listening intently to our neighbor and even the stranger. And so this week, I invite you to reflect on how others can be there for you, and also write about how you can be there for others in the midst of their struggles. And finally, I invite you to pray for those who are suffering, that they may experience hope and healing. May you all have a blessed day.